Hey, it's Matt. Welcome back to the Fine Finish Podcast, Episode 4. Thanks again for joining us. Last week and weeks prior, we had some minor audio issues. Since then, we've added some hardware here and upgraded some software there. The audio sounds a lot better this week, and overall, we think you'll enjoy it. In fact, we know you'll enjoy it. We have on another longtime regular at the store. He runs his business building cabinets, furniture, or just about anything you can imagine with his family in Splendora, Texas. He's a true master at his craft. Thanks for tuning in to the Fine Finish Podcast. Let's get started.
I go hard in them paint. Leave you stankin'. What the thinking? I won't die for it.
All right, we're back with another episode of the Fine Finish Podcast. Today we got Mark Smith. He's a contractor / carpenter out of Splendora, Texas. Right? What's going on, Mark?
What's going on, man? Glad to be here.
Yeah, good. Yeah, he's a longtime customer of ours and a friend of ours of the shop. So glad to get him in here and pick his brain a little bit. So,
thank you for coming by, Mark.
Yes, sir. My two favorite people to hang out with.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead. Man.
No, I was just gonna say. Typically, we just tell us a little bit about your history. You don't have to get too in depth. Maybe how you started and
Well, it was basically straight out of high school. I mean, I just went to work, running trim, bottom of the totem pole. And it was a pretty big totem pole from what I was looking at. And I was basically the dickhead of the crew.
Awesome. So Mark has, you're probably living the dream that every contractor wants to be living. So how many acres do you live on?
Right now, we're about 1 3/4 acres.
But you have your house, your shop. How big is your shop?
Shop is about 6,000 square feet.
Yeah. And then your son
lives over to the side of it where my parents lived for a little while.
And your daughter lives there also.
My daughter lives on the old property next door to it.
Oh, okay.
And that was my first big custom home to build for my family and raise my kids and raise half of Splendora's kids.
Yeah.
So they're all aware of it.
Oh yeah.
How'd you end up in Splendora? You always lived out there?
My dad actually used to go out there to some friends of his, and they actually had neighbors next to him in Kingwood, and he found out about the property, and he gave me my first $2,000 down on it. And started from there.
Awesome.
Nice.
So Mark and I met, I'm trying to think what year it was. I think it was right after Harvey. I think that's when we met. But
2017?
Yeah, about probably 2017. And actually, that was when I still had my finishing shop. Mark was making cabinets, and I was doing the finishing for him. Yeah. So that's...
kind of met on Instagram, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's probably me. I probably reached out about finishing, doing contract finishing. And now you do all of your own finishing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was all with the help of you.
Yeah.
For one. Teaching us the ropes and giving us the right products. And I mean, we probably wouldn't be painters if it wasn't for you and renter products.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Definitely.
It's so easy. And Apollo sprayers just makes it so easy.
Yeah.
To get there.
To get it done. Yeah.
And I remember the first day I brought my first paint rig home and walked in there, and the guys at the shop just kind of looked at me and said, "We're not painters, Mark."
You are now.
So I said, "Well, I am."
What's interesting is, as a contract finisher, when we met, one of the big things is really training and teaching the people that we're finishing for how to make a better cabinet, right? And that just comes with years of experience of being able to look at something and know how it's going to finish. And how would you say, and just to give everybody a little bit of insight, Mark, you make everything. You make furniture, cabinets, everything. You even have one of those big, what do you call that big saw you've got? The big trailer saw.
We've got the big sawmill out there that we can actually slice beams, or somebody can bring a log over there and we can slice it up for them.
Yeah.
And that was just a, spur of the moment thing. I had $26,000 to get rid of, and
it's an extra
didn't know what to do with it. So hell, let's get another saw.
That's why we call them Hollywood. Just had an extra 26 G's laying around.
Right.
No, but anyways, can you kind of talk about that journey? Because so once I shut down my shop, obviously, I think you might have used my dad or whatever, but I think I told you, I was like, you can do this, you can finish, and you have the space for it. But how has that changed the way you make cabinets in particular?
Well, I tell you, as soon as we started using your dad, and we weren't painting at the time, we used to have to load all the cabinets up and haul them to Houston, unload them at your dad's shop. He would paint them, then we would have to load them back up and then take them back to the job site and then unload them again. And that was kind of a deciding factor for me that I needed to do something different, to quit unloading and loading and unloading and loading and wrapping and preventing paint damage. And so that's what made me come to you and get the sprayer and just start spraying. And I sprayed everything, the animals, the kids.
Well, now you have a spray booth.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Now you have a spray booth.
And we used the Apollo for a long time, and it's like I say, it's a great machine. And then you introduced me to the Tritech because we were painting so much, and it was kind of hard on the Apollos. Even though we had 3 or 4 of them going, it was still hard. Yeah. So we started using the Tritech, and we still go back and forth, because there's different applications.
No, absolutely. What about as far as like the construction of the cabinets? You think you're making cabinets differently now that you're finishing than you were, let's just say, before we met?
Well, I'll tell you, when we started, it was basically just cutting your stiles, your uprights and your stiles, and gluing them and kind of toenailing them in there. And I still see guys doing it today, but as I was getting more and more advanced, we got introduced to pocket screwing, and we were doing it with a drill and a little bitty hand deal. Mm-hmm. And eventually I saved up enough money to get an automated pocket screwer. And I mean, it's a game changer. Mm-hmm. And it's so much stronger. I mean, you can't hardly tear it apart without breaking the wood itself.
Sure.
So, every chance I get, I try to buy something better and bigger, so that we can get up to a higher caliber.
Yeah. Get you something like what you seen in Atlanta out there.
Oh yeah, that was that was the main reason I took my son to that, because he had no idea the stuff that was out there.
Right.
I mean, when he saw that, I don't know, it was probably 200 feet by 400 feet, and it was all automated.
Mm-hmm. What was it?
It was all like robots. They'd go over there and they'd pick up the wood and take it to the saw and unload it, stack it, label it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we just sat there with our tongues hanging out, and just watching it.
We were just talking about robots on the last episode.
Oh yeah.
About who knows where that's going to be in the next 10 years, what it's going to be automating,
I mean, who would have even thought of that? Even the Amish were there.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I would have never thought to see them, but they were knee deep in it.
Really?
Yeah, and that's really interesting, because what we're talking about the IWF show in Atlanta, and they have one in Vegas as well. It's nowhere near as big as IWF in Atlanta, and that show is focused on, anything and everything you could possibly think of from a production standpoint to make a wood product. Everything from machinery to finishing, everything in between. It's incredible, and yeah, the Amish. I've been in Amish country. I've been there in Pennsylvania and been in some of those shops, and it's definitely interesting, and it's eye-opening really to see how large some of those shops are and the amount of work that they're doing. You wouldn't think it because of what you see on TV about the Amish, but it's these guys they're doing their thing. That's for sure.
I know y'all seen that TikTok, or maybe it was on Instagram, where there was like 3,000 Amish moving that
Barn.
metal shop building.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
wild.
Skyler from Surf Prep, he always talks about a whistle a guy made him. You know, those guys just bend up some tin and made a whistle. You know,
did.
just crazy.
On the fly, just made one.
Yeah, just made a whistle. So
Well, that you say, Skyler, that's another big aspect. Just the sanding capabilities that have come up. I mean, the foam pads where you don't have that orbital sander from Black and Decker, you know, and you're trying to sand that edge on the
right.
and you can just take that foam sander and run down it. Man, it's been round edges and furniture legs, and it's just crazy how far it's come.
Yeah, no, for sure.
One of the questions you had a second ago, Louis, you asked him you asked Mark if now that he's doing his own finishing about his cabinets. I just wanted to circle back real quick. Were you asking that because you wanted to know if he did something different in that first step? Well, you know, or like now that he knows what goes into the finishing part of it?
Yeah. I mean, basically, because I know now you have like the glue up tables and, you know, just different stuff like that. Yeah. And that's the biggest obstacle, like from a finishing standpoint with a carpenter or woodworker that doesn't finish. I'll give you an example. Nail holes in face frames, right? That's nail holes in face frames is a nightmare.
We're still actually fighting that right now. I'm just looking for the right application.
Yeah.
But you can't get away with it where we are right now. I mean, you've got to put a nail in it somewhere just to hold it. And there's a couple of things we saw at the Atlanta show. It's just getting the guys to move over to that technique when they're so used to doing it this way. And I mean, it was hard enough just getting them to build cabinets off site.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody was so used to building them on site.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's definitely a learning experience all the way through.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, my goal is to be a big time cabinet shop one day.
Sure. Yeah.
Takes a while to get there.
It does.
I might be 80 years old by the time we get it all learned, but
you got to get Clayton going.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the way it goes. I mean, you got to have that experience.
Yeah.
To be a good carpenter.
Clayton's your son?
Yeah.
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 I think I've met him before. Is that his plan to?
Well, I think that's the only thing he knows how to do.
Oh, really?
He loves it. I mean, we can dress for success. We can listen to the loud music all day.
Yeah.
Not hear equipment or people hollering at us.
Oh yeah, we definitely Mark. They like to have fun. That's why I like to hang out.
I've got another guy, Eric Ferguson. He's been with me, I don't know, 20, 30 years himself, and he didn't know nothing when he came, and now he's one of my lead guys. And I'd like to say he's probably as fast as me, maybe faster, but
it comes with time.
Yeah, real proud of those two boys.
Yeah. What do you think about taking on more technology? Is there any equipment you have your eyes on as far as not just finishing, but anything you have your eyes on right now to kind of speed up or improve the process right now? Well,
my next big purchase would probably be the CNC machine, maybe a 5x10 Shop Saber or something like that, Laguna tool. But we want to get into mass production of tabletops or something like that. We're going to need it.
Are you going to outgrow your shop anytime soon?
Well, we've already outgrown that. It's sitting out on the driveway right now.
I haven't been out there in a while, so I haven't seen it. But
yeah, we've overgrown it, and we need like 10 acres just for MS cabinets.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, that's funny you said. So, have you talk to old Jim McInville over there at all? Gallery
I haven't
Furniture?
made it over there yet.
Not
but
yet?
I've been talking to some lumber companies to
Yeah.
try to get the lumber as cheap as I can.
Yeah.
Because that's a big deal. You know, if you can just get them lumber down to getting it right out of the mill
Yep.
or right out of the kennel
Yep.
and cut out the salespeople,
Yeah.
well, then I can do what I can on my end to mass produce it
Yeah.
and hopefully pay for that CNC machine.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
But I mean, there's always a goal, you know.
Sure.
The big cabinet companies hate us
Yeah.
right now, but one day we'll be up there hand in hand with them.
Yeah. And, you know, it's interesting because I've gone into these big cabinet shops that have literally, I've been in cabinet shops that have hundreds of employees, and it's all automated.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part, there's somebody standing in front of or next to a machine, but for the most part, the machines are doing all the work. We went to a shop out in California one time. They probably had a good 500 people working in there, and it was all they did was make cabinet doors. They didn't even make boxes. They just made doors. And I was so impressed because it was, I don't know, maybe 60 rows of people working. And they had it so automated where all of their offcuts were on a conveyor going underground into a furnace to heat the building.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me.
No waste.
Wow,
I mean,
that's
just
insane.
insane amount of automation. And, you know, it's one of those things, I guess, because you get a lot of people that talk down on the automation as well. They're like, oh, well, that's not custom or it's not hand built, but it's always perfect.
Right.
Right. Like it is always.
Well, in a sense,
Always.
it's taking somebody's job.
It is. But again, somebody has to stand in front of it or next to it, you know, just like
Load or unload.
Yeah, just like your you know, take the wide belt sander, right? You got to have a guy on each end, one feeding and one catching. I mean, hell,
Right.
that last time we did the TV show thing and brought all those boards, shit, me, John, Clayton, I don't know how many damn passes had to, hundreds. I want to say we walked your machine a few hundred
Several
times.
times. I remember John even saying,
Yeah.
well, that's like 3 days of sanding for me, just that one pass.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
started adding it up, and he was like, wow.
But that thing drops down, because I remember we would put the slab through and then you're bumping it down, what, like a 16th or something?
Yeah.
Not even, or less?
Maybe a 30-second.
30-second.
Yeah.
So,
It's very,
High tolerance, huh?
yeah, we did that for about 20 minutes. And I told Clayton, I said, how much longer are we going to do this? It's like, well, we're trying to get to here. And it was like every time it would pass through, we'd have to push that button and just bump the belt down a little bit further. But
yeah, and if you try to take too much, it'll shut itself off,
yeah.
which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always going to be, you know, a need for it. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to how do you do more, right? Because
Right. You never stop learning.
Exactly.
Or
And that's-
wanting.
or programming, or, you know, because that's the other thing is you could have a CNC machine, but somebody's got to program the door style, or
Right.
you know, maybe you're coming up with a new style, or you figure out a new type of bit, or, you know, whatever it may be. You know, there's still that differentiating factor with technology. Speaking of John, I've watched him embrace technology big time with now he's running that laser.
Yeah.
Those
that's pretty
lasers
cool.
are freaking, I really truly believe these lasers are going to take over the CNC machines.
Maybe so.
Because we seen one at that same show in Atlanta. That shit, I don't know how big that damn thing was. It was huge. It was bigger than a CNC machine, and they were saying it could cut up to 3/4.
Wow.
And it was fast.
What to say? That's what you're gonna get is fast.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was rapid.
Yeah.
I mean, rapid. And then they had a smaller version that did 3D, where you had to take a picture with your phone to see all the detail, to zoom in and see all the detail of the thing it cut, because they just cut like a little business card size thing, and it was incredible. I mean, it's incredible. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of technology out there.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of what sets us apart, though,
Mm-hmm.
is, we have a lot of people that try to find people to do a certain thing.
Sure.
There's not a lot of people out there that want to take that on because they're so busy doing that, just doors or just cabinets or just painting.
Mm-hmm.
And, we can say, all right, bring it over. We'll help you out.
Yeah.
We'll get it done for you. I think that sets us apart
For sure.
from everybody else.
This podcast is brought to you by Fine Finish Supply. Join the fucking revolution and make money with us. At Fine Finish Supply, we couldn't give a damn about what everyone else thinks. The only opinion that matters to us is our customers. If you're ready to dominate your market while others just sit back and talk, take a good hard look at this. Why choose Fine Finish Supply? 1. Our coatings are fucking top-notch. Elevate your projects and leave your competitors in the dust. 2. Get access to insider knowledge and game-changing techniques. Our educational resources are for those who want to be at the fucking top of their game. 3. We've built real businesses while still being good, decent human beings. Our systems are designed to help you fucking crush your market. So what sets us apart? It's that the opinions of non-paying customers don't matter to us. We're here for those who understand that real success is all about action, not words. No bullshit, no excuses, just premium products, knowledge, and support for those who are ready to make money. Are you ready to dominate your market? If you're done with the noise and ready to take your business to the next fucking level, Fine Finish Supply is here to make it happen. Contact us today to access premium wood coatings, exclusive education, and proven systems for those who know how to win. Call us at 1-866-304-8640 or visit our website at www.finefinishsupply.com. And now, back to the show.
I just sent a guy to you last week or something. I don't even know what he needed. He started talking about some slabs and walnut. I said, I'm going to send you a guy's number right now. I'm sure he can help you. That's all I said. And I'm assuming he did, because I think he said he dropped it off.
Yeah, it's sitting there right now. But first thing he said was, Lewis told me to tell you he didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about, a Mr. Spot.
Oh, man. How's your experience been? Because I do that to Mark quite a bit. I put him on the spot. I've put you on the spot more than once for the TV show. So.
Oh, yeah. We work best under pressure.
You've been on camera on Texas Metal?
A few times, yeah.
Yeah, have you?
I think 4 times now.
Probably,
I'll find those episodes. I've seen Lewis's, but
yeah.
No,
last time you had a good spread on it.
Yeah, that was when he came out with the what was the Texas Hold'em truck bed or something?
Yeah, the riverbed that we did.
That was pretty exciting.
Yeah, so we actually filmed there at your place for the first part of it.
Oh, really?
Because Bill went over there, picked out the slabs, did the whole thing there, and yeah. So
has that helped? That exposure helped you at all? Have you seen anything from it?
I don't ever hear or see anything, but I would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, just the exposure alone. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
I remember when we didn't even have Instagram or Facebook or pagers or cell phones, and
now you're on TikTok.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
I've seen you on TikTok.
Yeah. How about that viral video that Mark's got?
That's right. Yeah. I don't know. Should we point out the
4 million views?
Yeah, I finally owned up and got a push stick.
Yeah,
I had to.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it,
we should probably say.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's on my TikTok, actually, my personal TikTok. Real short, 4 seconds. Mark cutting a piece of wood on the table saw, and it just said, "Do you think he's done this before?" And obviously you can't see, but Mark has 3 fingers on one hand. We call him 3-finger Mark from time to time. And why don't you tell us about how that happened, Mark?
Well, that I thought that was going to be the end of me, but it was quite the opposite.
I say it was probably bad at the moment, huh?
Yeah, it was horrible. But I was just outside. It was this is when we just had a little old, probably 1,200 square foot shop.
How long ago?
It's probably been 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, we were doing some big homes out of that shop, and it was in the backyard. And, you know, it was raining in on us. The floor was falling out on us. And we had, I think my first big belt sander we bought, it fell through the floor.
Oh, wow.
So it was brutal, but we made it through that stage.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were in there building some cabinet doors and stuff, and I was outside and talking to a customer. We had a habit, or I had a habit, of leaving the table saw running all the time because I was always on it, you know, and I didn't have time to put what I was carrying down and go over and turn the saw on, pick it back up, and then go set it down, turn the saw back off. I just left it on all day.
Yeah.
And so my guys got kind of used to that too, because they were always trimming things, and it got to the point where they were kind of stacking things on the saw. And this particular day, they had about, I don't know, 10 or 20 cabinet doors stacked on that saw. And of course, the radio was so loud you couldn't hear anybody in there but the radio. And they had the saw blade all the way up, and I reached around there to pick the cabinet doors up and took them off.
Took the fingers off.
Had to clean them off the back wall, but yeah, I thought my life was over that day, and I guess the Lord had bigger things for me after that.
You were destined to be a TikTok star.
Right. And I remember the day you did that post, man, you called me specifically and said, Mark, whatever you do, don't read the comments.
Yeah.
And I went straight to them. And dude, my kids got so mad about that.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. My two daughters were fighting with people on TikTok.
Well, they were being mean? They were like,
yeah, just their
something.
comments, you know, wear your safety glasses.
Oh, yeah. Fuck
And,
yeah.
you know, most of the people were sitting behind a desk, and
Yeah.
I know none of them knew me, like my kids and everybody knew me and what I was capable of, but it was a changing moment. It was pretty good.
Yeah. It was neat, though, to watch
Yeah, it was.
that type of, I don't know, what would you call it, viralness? I don't know
Response,
what you... Yeah, I mean, it was just crazy because TikTok was newer, but it was just like that number. I think I called Mark. I was like, dude, like...
I didn't even have a TikTok app at that time. Load it up.
Yeah, this is like over a year ago now, but it was just like, holy shit, like 100,000 views. And then it was like every second, it was just going like up and up and up and up. I was like, dude, this isn't stopping. Like it was just, and then I think I posted it like at 8 p.m. When I woke up, it was like damn near 1 million. And then Brianna was still working for us, and Brianna was like monitoring, and she's like, oh my God, it's about to hit 1 million. And it hit 1 million and just kept going. I was just like, oh my God. Finally stopped about 4 million views. And that was just, it was interesting to watch happen. And like Mark said, the comments, and we should have done more. You could have probably made an entire TikTok channel.
Probably.
I was just about to say the same thing.
From the response from that one video. You know, we talked about getting the hard hat and the glasses and the orange vest.
Right.
And the, whatever the hell else.
I just can't function with all that bullshit on me, you know?
No, I mean, I get it, and it's especially I'm real bad about not wearing a respirator.
Same.
I do wear a respirator, but if you see me on camera, I'm usually not, because I'm talking.
I'm usually the one barking at you behind, like, hey, respirator.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of depends if you're outside or if you're inside. Too.
Yeah. You get the same comments that he's getting about his finger. It's
All
always
the
like, where your respirator. No one's talking about what he's doing in the video. It's where's your respirator.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but people don't understand. And I don't know. People still think, I guess, that I'm painting every day.
Yeah.
And they're making comments, and I'm like, dude, I'm teaching somebody right now. Like, I have to be able to talk and communicate while we're doing this. I mean, I can't do that with a mask on my face. And it's, the ones that really used to get me is when we had the spray booth in the old location, which Mark has now. You have that booth at your place, but it's an engineered control. Like a spray booth is an engineered control so that your operators aren't having to wear a respirator. Like when you go into a large facility and they have a legit spray booth, nobody's wearing a respirator because you have a $20,000 spray booth. I mean, you don't, it's not necessary. People stand there with monitors on their shirt to ensure that the operator is safe. It's an engineered control, you know, and then you get these, you know, what do they call them? Keyboard warriors or whatever, know-it-alls that want to argue those things with you. But yeah, you want to be safe, but at the same time, now you have a saw stop.
All sauce.
Oh, do you?
So,
Yeah, about to say.
Absolutely.
so we're going to, so it'll be 8 fingers for sure.
Have you ever tested one? Or have you ever had to, not tested it, but
I've wanted to, believe me. I
But
mean,
you haven't
I'm
had
all
any
about
close
stepping
calls?
outside the boundaries.
It's never gone off?
no close calls with it?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing is when people touch it with their tape measure. They'll be
Wow, yeah.
moving the fence over there and they're trying to get it perfect. Ding! There goes $150. You know, a brake and a blade.
Yeah.
Let's say you had to replace it all, yeah.
Well, we seen one. We were hoping that they would get one for John at the show where it's a camera monitored now, and it doesn't destroy the blade. It just drops the blade into the table, but it will not destroy the blade, which is cool.
I think it's pretty crazy that the guy came up with that saw, really. And it works off electrolytes, is how it works.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you like you see in the demonstration, they touch it with that
You're grounding it,
Hot
right? Or
dog.
something? Or, yeah.
moisture, basically.
Cycle. Yeah,
Like you can take a piece of treated lumber, and if it's too wet, it'll trip.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you got to bypass it to run wet materials.
Yeah.
I think I saw how it's made or something on that one time.
And it's not a cheap saw. Those saws are good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have no complaints on the components.
Yeah. I think the company that Laguna and SawStop are teamed up now. Same company or something, I believe. Could be wrong.
Yeah, we used to run Powermatics all the time. And I mean, it's equivalent or better than those.
Yeah.
It's damn sure safer.
Yeah. So, Mark, what are you seeing kind of industry trends since you're the guy making cabinets, making furniture? What kind of trends are you seeing coming about?
I think the most people are wanting it done when we come there one day. They're wanting it installed and walk away the next day, and they don't have to sit there and look at, you know, construction trucks every day and construction tools and just
They don't want you
disaster,
moving in with them.
you
Yeah.
know, and when you come in, it's a finished product, and that's kind of what got us where we are today. Is that's the way, you know, let's just say wood mode. That's how they do it.
Yep.
When it gets there, it's finished.
Yep.
So that's what we've been working towards.
Yeah. What about style, design?
I mean, I don't know. We basically do shaker for everything.
Yeah.
Everybody's gotten away from raised panels and all that dated stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it.
Decorative.
Lip mold,
Yeah, lip mold
the
doors.
old
God.
Youngdale hinges.
Thank God. I mean, seriously.
I mean, we've even gotten completely away from the side mount full extension drawer guys because they're just,
Yeah.
and that was a big deal when they came out, you know, but
Yep.
now we go with the undermount because they're so user friendly and they don't mess up as much.
Right.
I mean, even the homeowner can go over there and just squeeze the 2 levers and take a drawer out.
Yep. Yeah.
Whereas the side mounts, you know, they would have to call us and say, how do you get these in or out? Half the time they put them in there, they would be messing up ball bearings.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And those are nice too.
absolutely. Cadillac.
Yeah. You can make a bigger box too, right? A little bit.
That, and we've switched to dovetail drawers, which is a thicker, heavier material because it's a solid material. It's just a better product.
Yeah.
And we recently switched from doing our cabinet doors out of poplar to a wood called beech
Beach. Yeah.
because it's more stable.
Yeah.
Because we were having a lot of problems with where the panel meets the stile and the rail on the cabinet door, that it would separate. So I had to figure out a solution for that. And you know, a lot of people say don't caulk the panel. A lot of people say caulk the panel. Some people caulk it before it's ever even primed. So everybody's got their ways of doing things, and you just have to go through the trivials to get to the best one.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think if you ever do get that CNC machine, that's where those one-piece doors are really nice, because like J-Craft, you know, J-Craft is a massive manufacturer here in Texas, and they moved to one-piece doors years ago, and people have no idea. Like, literally, if you ask 99% of homeowners will never know that it's a one-piece.
Especially if it's painted, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you can't see joints and all that.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter.
And it's a much better finished look. It really is.
Absolutely.
And now I guess they have, and you'd know better than me, but what do they call it? Double refined MDF?
It's
seen that?
Industrial, double refined.
Yeah. I was in a cabinet
The Home
shop.
Depot MDF, you know, I wouldn't touch it when we're doing cabinet doors.
No. Yeah, you can't.
You for one, you kept calling me Mark. Every time I say that, it just gets hairier.
Yeah, and that goes back to, you know, training the customers, you know, and the qualities. Once you start painting that shit, it's you really quickly realize. But no, I was in a cabinet shop last week doing a demo, and they're using that double refined MDF, and man, that stuff. One coat of primer.
Yeah.
One coat of primer. And then they were showing they had some soaking in water, and didn't even swell.
Yeah, it's night and day for sure.
Yeah. I don't know how much more expensive it is, but you know, it definitely, and now I hear there's some new shit that's not even MDF at all. They call it something completely different. It's completely weatherproof, guaranteed it's weatherproof.
Huh.
Feels like it. I don't even know what it is, but yeah.
What are they using that on?
For doors, for cabinet doors. Yeah. Cause that's the thing, like Mark's saying, is, you know, that us as a distributor, we're always going to tell our customers not to caulk on a 5-piece wooden door. And it's only because that door's going to move, you know, it's going to move seasonally. It's going to move. And eventually you'll get that phone call from a customer, you know, that it's cracked or something like that. But even with stain, you know, you go stain something, and then the wintertime comes, and then all of a sudden you see a little
raw wood.
You see a little strip of raw wood right there, and it's like, oh, what happened? Well, it's wood. It moved. You know, we couldn't get stain that deep in there. You know, that's what happened. So, you know, as a distributor, we're always going to tell our customers not to caulk, but from your standpoint, your customers are going to say
they want it.
This doesn't look good. Like I want it caulked. So,
and if you don't caulk it, you know, you can't get the paint line perfect.
Right.
So you almost have to like stick something in there so it's a clean line.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you pull it out and then paint the panel, or paint the panel before you put it together, or something. But,
right.
I mean, you got to fail to be successful.
Yes.
And that's where you get the experience, I think.
Absolutely. That's we said it on one of the other podcasts. You got to fuck it up.
You're right.
You have to. You got to fuck it up. Like
sometimes
royally.
you just got to walk away from it for a day.
It's got to cost you money.
Yeah.
And time for you to really learn those hard lessons. I agree 100%.
Yeah, they don't teach this, you know, in school or anything. You got to learn it.
You do.
First, it's got to be in your blood.
Yeah.
But you just have to fail and succeed and fail and succeed and just keep going at it, you know.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yep. You got anything else?
No. I really appreciate you coming in and doing this with us, Mark.
Absolutely, man.
You know,
I had a good time with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's something we're, you know, I think people hearing everybody's stories. I like what y'all are doing. I always refer y'all, and you know, we always have a good time together. So
I can't wait to read the comments.
Yeah.
What's the name of your company?
MS Cabinets Incorporated.
Where can they find you?
Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Texas Metal on TV.
The Yellow
There you
Pages,
go.
maybe.
Yeah.
Hollywood. Hollywood.
But most of the time, you just somebody knows us.
Yeah.
Somebody's got our phone number,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool.
or just do a drive-by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll drag you off the street to talk to you.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you're ever in Splendora, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on by.
All right.
We
Well,
appreciate it, Mark.
Adios, guys.
all right.
Thanks,
All right.
man.
Later.
Sweet.
I go hard in them paint. Leave you stinking. What the thinking? I won't die for it. So what the fuck I say?